Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. On this channel, I talk about fragrance, skincare, fashion, and the finer things in life. And today we are going to talk about 7 fragrances for men. What about these 7 fragrances? Where do they come from? From Instagram. Like I did in my previous video, I asked my friends on Instagram to tell me a fragrance that they would like me to try. And thankfully, they did, and therefore I have 7 fragrances in front of me right now. You know I don't believe in feminine, masculine, gender, whatever, but today we're gonna man up and we're gonna review these 7 fragrances and I'm gonna tell you my thoughts on them. Some of them made me a little emotional, nostalgic. I'm gonna tell you all the stories behind. So if you are thirsty, go grab a drink. If you're hungry, go grab a snack. This is gonna be a masculine fragrance video. If you have a boyfriend or friend with benefits, go grab them. Or a girlfriend. Or if you don't have anyone, you still have your right hand. Go get him and then find me in here and we are gonna start our conversation. So 7 fragrances in front of me right now, but before there is a point I would like to mention. I'm not really well versed when it comes to masculine fragrances, so I'm not really a connoisseur of fragrances. I'm just like reviewing them according to my taste and then my knowledge, but this knowledge is very minuscule actually when it comes to male fragrances. So please keep that in mind throughout this video, and whatever I say, take this with a grain of salt and don't take it very seriously. And I'm gonna start with the first one, but before I go, I'm gonna tell you the order. Today we're gonna be doing the fragrances in an order of designer name, alphabetical order. However, we're gonna make an exception for the first one because that comes from a friend actually who posts internationally. He posts in English on Instagram and he has a huge following, 10,000 following. He only does perfume posts. He is very knowledgeable. He reads. He speaks English. He speaks French. He speaks Turkish. He is the full package, and on top of everything, he's a smoke show. Very hot. Go check his Instagram. Drop a comment or so. Very hot. Alright, so I asked him, his name is Tolga, and then ntscents Tolga, and he gave me a list of fragrances that he could suggest I try. Alright, and then I said, I'm gonna pick Ganymède, that is made by Canton Biche, one and only, and that came from a brand called Marc Antoine Barrois, if I pronounce correctly, which is a designer. Ganymède, I think that's Jupiter's largest satellite, and this fragrance actually is indeed extraterrestrial when it comes to its performance. The performance is really nice. I'm giving you a longevity on the skin between 7 to 9 hours, and very rarely in the perfume world we're gonna find a fragrance that projects for 3 hours upon application. And actually we are seeing a bottle right now on the screen, and Ganymède is such a fragrance. However, I'm not going to be spraying this today because this is not a scent that I can get behind. Whenever we're in college, there are those buildings or parts where they copy, the printers, Xerox machines, and whenever you need something multiplied or whenever you have a book or like a sheet of notes, you just go to those printers or Xerox machines and then get your copy, and in there is a distinct paper, like a new hot paper smell. Imagine that smell, and on top of smell we're going to be adding salt. So imagine that you have a book that you are holding in your hand. That book is titled Marine Biology, where you have the aquatic mineral notes with that salty, so salty background, and then you are combining that scent with that Xerox machine newly released paper. This is the opening of this fragrance on my skin. As this fragrance dries down, this is getting leathery actually. And when I looked at the notes, I did not see a prominent leather note. However, if my nose is not playing tricks on me, I am getting a leathery dry down on the scent. Everything fine and dandy. However, I find this fragrance to be not sensual at all. I don't think this fragrance is sexy on man or any human. I think this fragrance is very cold and distant and aloof, and I think there is nothing inviting about this scent. It might be a unique one, it might be an olfactory art, and I appreciate both of those things. However, when we go to a museum, we see a modern art and we appreciate it, but we don't necessarily get it and put it on our body. You know, it just stays there. I think this is a juice that needs to stay in the bottle, and then every now and then, if you want to travel outer space, like Jupiter, you can spray on your hand to try what Canton Biche did here. After Angel Muse and Delina, I am actually appalled that he was capable of doing such a cold, repulsive scent, but apparently an increasing bank account and designer direction by Marc Antoine Barrois caused this. So don't take me seriously. I think we should stay away from this. This is being hyped. Actually, this is coming, you know, snowballing. The hype is approaching. But please, please don't make this another Avantis or Hajibat. But go try it objectively. Don't take me seriously. But to me, this is a huge flop. Alright, so the second one on my list actually is gonna come from Chanel, and we have 1990 release. Chanel Egoïste. This is not the platinum version. This is the classic Egoïste, and I'm sure the one I have is a newer formulation, and I like the smell a lot. Can I say something? If I didn't know this was a Chanel fragrance, I would definitely know by the smell that there is something so Chanel in this fragrance. Opening is nice. I'm getting an oriental touch with the Chanel vibe, but when it comes to dry down in the middle, this is getting rosy, a little like a carnation, spicy, cinnamon, sandalwood. But in the ultimate dry down, I'm getting leather actually. This dries down to an animalic scent as well, but in contrast with Ganymède, this dry down here is very inviting, sexy, and I am sure it's gonna smell and read beautifully on male skin. This is not a scent that you would smell on me. However, I can see this being used by men, and that those men smelling really nice, inviting, sexy, and powerful, maybe about 25, 30. However, men out there, if you like Chanel, if you like sort of like kind of like classical male scent, but with a modern twist and some leathery animalic dry down, you can check this one out. This is a little sweet to me too. Maybe like the rosy carnation cinnamon thing. This is very well balanced and it smells beautiful. I think this can be a very, very nice choice. Alright, so the next fragrance on my list came from another friend on Instagram, and she said to me, honey, you have to review Dior Homme Intense by Christian Dior, François Demachy. Well, I said, I already did, but why not? I adore this fragrance so much. I talked about this fragrance where in that video where I talked about sexy male fragrances. This is the OG. This is everything. Oh my god, this is just like reminds me of the years that when I lived in Europe, and this reminds me of my 1 year in France where I was pretty lonely and I was just trying to make one man fall in love with me and like running after him. Those times were a little childish, maybe high school, but the smell was there and it was this beautiful Dior Intense. And I think François Dimashi knows human beings so well. I think this is a great human scent as a species. This is not male, this is not female, this is everything. That lipsticky vibe, but it's not stale. That is giving me life. This is everything. Each and every male viewer out there, I'm gonna visit you in your bedroom and I should be able to see this bottle around me. If not, I'm gonna throw a tantrum, like, and we're gonna go to Sephora and then we're gonna get one or whatever, wherever. You have to have it. This is beautiful. You can wear this anywhere. Go to church in this. Go to gym in this. I don't care. Go to bed. Go to the bathroom. Why not? This is everything. A great masculine scent, a great human scent by François Demachy, Christian Dior, Dior Homme, Antoine. Alright, another fragrance comes from a friend actually whose fragrance tastes and whose taste level are very similar to mine. So I was very curious about his pick, and then he told me about this fragrance from Givenchy that is actually very hard to pronounce, and I'm gonna try, and if we are here in America, I think we're gonna be saying Xeryus Rouge. But if we if we went to France, I think we would be pronouncing this Xeryus Rouge. Rouge. So whatever. It's a little hard, but here is the bottle. I was gonna get a decant of this, but hey, the full bottle is actually cheaper than decant, so I said, why not? Let us spray this. Oh my god, I sprayed everywhere. Whew. Whew. There is something so nostalgic about this scent. You know, 90s, like early 2000s, I was in high school, you know, I didn't know who I was back then. I hadn't come out, and I was always like eyeing those guys who were older than me in high school. They were pretty handsome, and then I was always eyeing them, and they would smell like so. Or whenever I went to college, those, like, college girls, they had boyfriends, handsome guys, from different departments. But this smells is sort of like reminding me of that, years and those younger crowd scent. But this fragrance is not pretty young per se. Fragrantica says there's like the cactus note, like a pepper note, whatever. I'm not getting those. All I'm getting is that, a booty, a not so sweet, masculine scent, but is not toxic masculine. There is still like a feminine touch to it, with which I really appreciate, which makes this really interesting and inviting. Um, if you want to go back to your high school years or whatever, if you want to smell a little different, Backstreet Boys, I don't know, go check this one out. This is called Givenchy Xeryus Rouge. There we are. Not a bad fragrance at all. Maybe it's too late for this now because we have tons of other fragrances like I have on this list, but I think this has a special place on a shelf. Alright, so the next fragrance is actually gonna come from a friend. She is an expert in orchids, and also she likes fragrances. And my friend on Instagram, she told me to try Guerlain L'Homme Idéale Extrême. Actually, I know L'Homme Idéale Eau de Parfum, and I talked about that in my video where I talked about sexy male fragrances. And this is not a disappointing flanker at all. This is really good. Let me spray this on my hand here. The opening is not giving me the gourmand vibe that this is gonna dry shortly. As this dries down, this gets sweeter, fruitier. This gets gourmandish. This gets very alluring. Still Guerlain, L'Homme Idéale. Still that like sexy straight daddy, pushing the stroller or shopping at Whole Foods next door. I live next to Whole Foods. They go to Whole Foods, those like sexy guys on Sundays with sweatpants. They never come and see me in my apartment. this is still, like Extrême, L'Homme, Idéale is still that giving me that, like the perfect, picture perfect, straight daddy vibe, but with a sexy touch, gourmand, sweet floral thing going on there. I think this is a great one. Guerlain L'Homme is an excellent choice. It's an excellent masculine fragrance, and actually, L'Homme Extrême does not disappoint at all. You can for sure go get this and smell beautiful. All right, so the next fragrance on my list is gonna come from a brand called Ormonde Jayne, her or his or the brand's first appearance on the channel, and this fragrance is called Montabaco. Montabaco is a very nice fragrance. Let me spray this on my right hand here. This is masculine, fresh, but at the same time, this is a tobacco scent, which is not off-putting, which is still inviting. Performance is perfect. I like the performance a lot. Again, this is not something you would smell on me because I'm getting that, like, too fresh kind of like masculine vibe, but it's totally under control in here. And as this dries down, as this dries down, I'm gonna tell you something. So Juliette has a gun. That brand has a product called Not a Perfume, molecular one. And that Not a Perfume has a flanker called Superdose. That one, that one has this particular molecular dry down. And when it comes to Ormonde Jayne Montabaco, I'm getting that molecular vibe as well, together with the naturals. And I think that combination makes this performance very well performing actually, because sillage is really good too. Projection is good, and whenever you walk by, I will be smelling you as well, which is great. This is gonna fill the room actually, and it smells beautiful. This is a great masculine fragrance. It's unisex, but it's not feminine. Let's just be honest here. It's not something I would wear on me either, but I just have to tell you that a great choice, Montabaco or Ormonde Jayne. Performance, very good as well. I mean, this is a way better choice than this thing called Ganymède, in my opinion. Alright, so the last fragrance on my list. Let me grab a sip and then we're gonna move on to the last. It's gonna come from American Perfumery, Tom Ford. And I talked about this scent before, and my friend on Instagram, he said, I like Tom Ford Grey Vetiver a lot. I said, okay, I have the Eau de Parfum concentration. And actually, my husband has been using it. I like this smell. To me, this is up there with Chanel Sycamore when it comes to vetiver fragrances. This is your out-of-shower scent, but this is not that mainstream lame out-of-shower. I just want to get into this shower where this comes from actually. This is sexy, this is fresh, but this is not off-putting. This is very inviting. Vetiver, so nice, very well done, Tom Ford. I think this is one of his best releases. I think his best fragrance is Santal Blush, but this one is a cool contender. If you like Chanel Sycamore, or if you are looking for a fragrance suitable for summer months, man out there, I think your address is here. The address you're looking for. This is, wow, this is really good. Performance is not bad either. This is going to project like the first 45 minutes an hour, and from that point on, this is going to get closer to you. However, I think you can get like the 4 or 5 hours without refreshing this, but after that, a little reapplication will keep you going till the end of the night. Why not? Tom Ford, Grey Vetiver, a male scent I can get behind. And as you can see, my husband is using that. And actually, when we were young, now I've been married for 7 years, but back then we would go to Sephora and check out fragrances, and he would come and say, oh, I tried that, I tried this. And then when he tried this one, we both liked it, at the first sniff. and he bought that and he's been using this. This is not the same bottle. He's actually finished a couple before. This is his current one and smells beautiful. Why not? Vetiver, Chanel Sycamore Vibes, Tom Ford, Summer, out of shower but still a little powdery. Ooh, there you go, Tom Ford, Grey Vetiver. Alright, this brings me to the end of my video. 7 fragrances I talked about today, but more importantly, let me know, what are your thoughts? Have you ever tried these fragrances? You have to have this. I'm showing you again. Xeryus Rouge, if you're feeling nostalgic, if you want to remind yourself of the years you have lived in your high school like me or college, why not? As a 35-year-old guy, Xeryus Rouge, why not? Ganymède, I don't know. I think it's hyped up a lot, but I'm gonna leave it up to you, and I'm gonna ask you to write in the comment section how you feel about Ganymède specifically. You know, the performance is perfect, but what about the quality of the scent per se? It's an olfactory art, but I don't know if we are to wear that olfactory art on us. Well, oh well, without further discussion, I'm gonna leave that up to you to let me know. As you know, this is a bilingual channel. Each and every video comes in 2 languages, one in English and the other one is in Turkish, and they are exactly the same, and you have just watched the English version. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I can't wait to see you at the next one. Take care, everyone.